Hey, how's it going, Cat Army? FSUA Gaming here today with a pretty cool build. So this is for one of the customers, Mr. Cameron. This is his VFC Avalon M4 that he sent in to get a little bit of FSUA custom love. He wants it to be a 1301 with a program clicker. So he did tell me there's a little bit of an accuracy issue, so we're going to go in and try to figure out what that's about and then fix the gun up. Anyways, before we start taking it apart, let's take it to the chrono. So before we chrono, I just want to see how the gun performs stock. So as you can see, the gun is kind of screechy even with the 11.1 LiPo, and on full auto it seems to be a little bit of an overspin issue. As you can see, I let go of the trigger and it's still shooting about 3 to 4 rounds afterwards. So we're going to be chronoing it with 0.2 gram EMG BBs with our brand new chrono that we got. So let's test it out. .286 FPS, 295 FPS. And as you can see, the gun is shooting incredibly low FPS for what it should be. This gun should be shooting well into the 350s to 400 FPS. And 21.4 RPS, not too shabby. You can see right here is the inner barrel and hop-up assembly. Now actually when I was taking a little look at it, I had noticed that the bucking on the side of it was actually frayed. So I'm assuming that this is where the FPS loss is coming from as well. As you can see, the stock motor has some decent magnets, but the performance on the motor is still so you know, but it is better than a stock JG motor for sure. And as you can see right here, after finally getting to the gearbox and taking some pictures for my Instagram and for my customers so we can see the before and after pictures, we are finally ready to start tearing into the gearbox and looking at the stock parts. I do apologize about my angles. I forgot to move my GoPro. I do apologize big time, but we can still make this work. So let's start taking a look at the parts. First off, you got a piston with half polymer and half steel teeth right here, and a metal piston head with a thick O-ring. This piston does have some wear and tear, which is perfectly normal considering the teeth being polymer, and you know, it works, it does its job. And we're gonna just check the compression part right here, and as you see, stock compression, it's perfect. It's actually really surprising. Look at that. So it just tells me right there that the bucking was probably the issue for the FPS loss. Looking at the air nozzle, it's a polymer air nozzle with one O-ring, which does its job perfectly. And for the cylinder head, it's your basic cylinder head with one O-ring, but it has a really nice thick pad, so I really do like that. And then for your gear set, you have your standard 18-1 steel gears. VFC makes some really good ones, and as you can see right here, the sector gear actually has a delayer chip. This just better ensures better feeding with your Tappa blade. And as you can see, the bevel gear is really nice as well. Really good machine work. As you can see, all the teeth are nice and even. That's really nice to see. And with the spur gear being not a auto shimmy like I thought it was, it actually just has a weird cylinder thing that goes on top of the spur axle like that, and the shims go underneath that part. So that means if you wanted to swap out the sector gear for a DSG one and shim it up, you definitely can. These gears are tough. So that's a nice thing to see from VFC. And you got your stock little anti-reversal latch. It does this thing and it tries its best. Now right here, we're just going to do the stock shipping right here with none of the screws, and it's actually pretty nice. So that's nice to see, but there's still a lot of gear play. So that's one of the things that if your gears spin freely, it doesn't mean it's a good shim job. This right here is just a basic MOSFET. Only thing it does is just prevents your trigger contacts from arcing with a stronger battery like 11.1 LiPo. And as you can see, after I finally fixed the camera angle, it's time to clean out all the lube and all the junk from the gearbox. So pretty much I'm just cleaning it all off, wiping everything down, and cleaning out the ball bearings to make sure they spin nice and freely, and getting the gearbox pretty much ready for its brand new life. With a new life, you need new parts. So first off, we got the real deal Airsoft piston that's already AoE corrected, making life super easy. Then, to make sure every single BB feeds, we got the high-speed delayer chip right here from the real deal Airsoft. And for any SSG build or any fast weights, you need a light piston head, which is the FBF there. Then you got super tap-up springs, ensuring perfect consistent shots every single time, paired with the prone clicker for a nice little trigger break, paired with the version 2 hybrid MOSFET. And then you got the 4 quantum bucking right here. This is going to give you superior hop to make you just shoot .32s out into the 200 feet. And then you got the icing of the cake, the real deal 2.0 golden type motor. This is my favorite motor. If you're looking for a motor that's not brushless, check this one out for sure. Also, he has the torque boy and the brolic boy for other type of applications. Then we got the SHS 1301 gears that we are going to be short stroking by 3 teeth just to make sure we don't have any overspin issues, and for also faster semi-auto rates. And all this stuff was bought from the real deal Airsoft, which is going to be linked in the description below. Anyways, let's get right into this build. So the first thing we're going to be doing for the build is going to be using the half shell method. So first off, we're going to be dropping in the real deal motor right into the handguard, and we're going to be ensuring that we have 100% contact and meshing between the bevel and the pinion gear. This is an essential step for all builds, so make sure you do your research, check out some other videos, also some of my videos where I explain shipping in some more detail. As you can see, this is what it should pretty much look like. The bottom of the pinion gear is meshing perfectly with the bottom of the bevel gear, and the pinion gears are not too far in, it's not too far out, it is perfectly lined up and symmetrical. One of the things I like to do just to ensure that the pinion gear is not too far in is I put a shim on the top of the bevel gear and then I spin it. As you can see, as I spin it, it continues to free spin by itself with the pinion gear inserted into it. So as you can see, if it's too tight, it wouldn't even spin at all. It would be way too hard. And so you can see right here, we got it shimmed up 0.1 millimeters of play side to side and nice clicky, so we are good to go. As you see, we got just a nice little bit of vertical play. For ball bearings, you want about 0.2 millimeters to 0.3 millimeters of vertical play. For this one, I'm about at 0.2 millimeters, which is perfect for application. And just do a little spin test, make sure it spins nice and freely with no resistance. From here, we are good to go. Alrighty, now we have finally finished shimming. The spur and the sector are shimmed up, and as you can see, butter reaction. Spins freely, no resistance, exactly what we want. We're just installing the proven version 2 hybrid MOSFET. These MOSFETs are a bang for the buck. They're about $75 and they give you all the settings in the trigger sensitivity, auto braking, pre-cocking, DSG mode, DMR mode, LiPo protection, and so many more. I love these guys, but if you have posts on the gearbox shells, you will need to Dremel them off. But unfortunately, if your Dremel breaks like mine, then you're gonna have to resort to the old-fashioned primate days and just hand file these bad boys down. So go ahead and remove these if you do have them, and just make sure that the wires aren't getting pressed down by them, because they could just cut it up and cause your MOSFET to have a lot of issues. Next up, we got the prune clicker that we're going to be installing. These guys are pretty nice. They take over the little magnet that you usually install onto the trigger system with the prune version 2 hybrid MOSFET that is included. So with these ones, it pretty much takes over the whole little system and it just pops right on. There's no screws, nothing you need to change unless you want to change the trigger brake, which is located inside with a little hex screw. So as you can see, there's a little hole that just sits right onto the safety latch, just like this. One of the things I'm going to talk about is what I did for the piston and the sector gear. So for the piston, I took an additional 3 teeth off the release side of the piston just because I actually short stroked the sector gear by 3 teeth as well. The only reason why I short stroked the gun is because since it is a higher speed airsoft gun, a SSG build, I want to eliminate any possibilities whatsoever of overspin. Here right here, the piston has a lot of holes on it. The reason being is you want the piston to be as light as possible. So you want around 20 grams for the piston weight, and that just ensures that the piston is returned in the forward position before the sector gear can even rotate fully, reducing any chances of overspin, which pretty much just means that the piston is getting caught before it is fully in the forward positioning, causing really weird FPS fluctuations and piston strippage and possible sector gear breakage as well. It's just really bad for the system. So as you can see right here, I'm testing the AoE correction, making sure that the silicone oil is nicely spread throughout the cylinder, and ensuring that it's going to have a nice smooth function and that the O-rings will not dry out in the near future. And finally, after the AoE correcting, after all the short stroking, after everything has been done, it is the last step, and that's installing the high-speed delayer chip and the super strong tappet plate spring. The reason why you want the strong tappet plate spring is just it helps with the BB being seated every single shot, and also it helps with any type of FPS fluctuations. It gives you perfect seal every single shot. And the high-speed delayer chip, like I said before, it just ensures that you have perfect feeding every single time. Definitely crucial for any fast builds. There we go. As you can see, the first couple test shots, the gun sounds amazing. The shim job is perfect. The GoPro audio does not do it justice. This gun is quiet. So since everything working perfect, we're gonna go ahead and reinstall it into the gun's body and get the gun shooting. Getting the stock hop-up unit off, you can see that it actually did have a maple leaf bucking. Unfortunately, it did have a decent little cut, but have no fear, we're going to be upgrading it. So for the first upgrade, we got a 6.02 diameter real deal airsoft inner barrel. Now these are pretty nice. I do like them, and they always work really good, as well as they're at an affordable price. They're about $23 to $25 for the 6.03 Type 4 inner barrels, which is a steal if you know how expensive they can be. Paired with the 4U AD bucking, we're going to be making sure we get far, long shots, very consistent groupings, and of course, with this bucking, we're going to be able to hop heavy BBs for long ranges. For instance, I ran one in my Tokimiri, shooting about sub 300 FPS, and even with 0.3 gram BBs outdoor code red, I was hitting easily into the 150s, 180 feet. No problem. So, with this gun shooting a little bit hotter, you can expect range about 200 to about 220 feet every single time. So, let's get this gun put back together, and let's take it to the chrono and then the range. We're looking at pretty decent numbers. Full auto. Let me load up the mag real quick. About the same. The spring is still settling in, so that's why you see a lot of fluctuations at the moment. Very consistent on the RPS. That's perfect, and that's how we know we're not getting any overspin, any issues like that. So we're gonna go ahead and take it to the range. We're gonna be shooting this one with 0.32 gram BBs to get the real good accuracy. Hey, what's up guys? So we got the gun. It is finished. Look at this thing. The Avalon body is super nice. So the body is actually kind of like, get that, it's like hard plastic, which I like because it makes this gun really lightweight, but still being super strong. So as you can see, we got a Lancer Tactical magazine, loaded up with EMG Barrett's 0.32 gram BBs. Nice, locked in there. All right. So it is nighttime. So I'm gonna grab this light. Let's give it a couple shots. I haven't adjusted the hop up yet, so we shall see what the hop up looks like. Wow, that's already shooting beams. Okay, so it's shooting a little high. This gun sounds almost like an HPA gun. The shimming couldn't be any freaking better on this gun. The shimming literally couldn't be better. There we go, look at that. You can still spam it even with the clicker, as you can hear it. And let's go for some accuracy. So we got a little yucca tree right here. Full auto. Woo! This thing is no joke. Holy. Alright, so we got the second magazine loaded up. Now let's go give it a couple test shots. We're gonna go for some long range. Let's see if I can get you in here better. I hope the GoPro could pick it up, but that's easily 200. Easily 200. And we are out. And with the prune, you can do the and the gun is complete. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you guys liked it, please consider commenting, liking the video, and subscribing and sharing with your friends. It helps the channel grow tremendously. It makes me a very happy technician. As well, I just want to say thank you guys so much for my old, my new, and my future viewers, because without you guys, I want to be able to do what I'm doing. I've been able to, you know, work with customers all around. I have guns that are built in Hawaii to New York City, which is amazing to think about. Honestly, it's awesome. Thank you guys so much for the support. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and catch you later, Cat Army. Peace. Yes, real quick, I'm also making a custom merch line, so if you guys are interested in that, please check out my community post on my channel on YouTube. It's gonna be cool merch. I designed them all myself. They're gonna be cute. They're gonna be dope. They're gonna be super duper speed softy edgy, and then also just classic FSUA customs merch. So if you guys are interested in that, check the community post. Okay, now love you guys. Catch you later, Cat Army, and peace. Have a good night. Bye bye.